Hi.
How are you?
Hi. I'm doing great. So tell me, what brought you here today to this sip and paint?
So I'm at Elements Yogurt downtown Puyallup, and Cami from Ignite You is going to teach a paint class, and we're doing this beautiful painting right here behind you, which is the ocean scenery. Yes, that beautiful painting is the one we're going to do today. So the reason why I wanted to come down is because I love the ocean more than anything. And so that's the painting that I am choosing to come down and do. So I'm Lori with Restoring Hope. I'm an elder placement agency, and I am here to paint.
All right, let's have fun.
Let's do it.
Cool. Thanks for talking with me.
My pleasure.
I've been enjoying your YouTube channel lately.
Thank
It's
you.
really very educational and very fun, inspiring.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate anybody who wants to watch my YouTube channel. I just have been way more active with it within the last year, but the learning curve, wow, I just thought I'd just make some little videos to help people have paint be something fun and relaxing for them and make it approachable, and give them some tips and some tools, and maybe as enjoyable as Bob Ross. I don't know, that's a goal.
Maybe you have a little more personality.
I'm definitely more sassy. But I want to make videos to help people, like, make painting be approachable for them, and have them consider it to be a way that they can express themselves or come home from a long day at work and relax, and just make it approachable. Learn some bite-sized bits of information at their pace so that they can practice and have it be a fun thing and not a stressful thing. So many people stress out over their paintings, and I think, like any skill, it's something you have to practice, and I think there's joy in the journey. You don't have to, like, have your painting come out absolutely awesome without having any fun. It doesn't have to, like, be awesome for you to say, oh, that was great, that was a great time. So
Yeah, there's something I've noticed about painting. I'm certainly not good at it yet. I have got a long way to go. But I have noticed, I've tried to draw, and it's hard for me to get the angles right. I've got a little tremor, and this kind of can cause a problem when you're trying to do art. With paint, it's a little more flexible. It can be a little more abstract, or these words are eluding me now.
that's all right.
And if you make a
Impressionists, where they do dots
impressionists.
of color. So if you do have a tremor, the dots of color are actually a gift. It's a good thing.
Yeah, and the details aren't as essential.
Right.
And if you make a mistake on the details, which I see all the time, I see the leaves where they're not touching a stem and things like that, and I guess they don't bug me too much anymore, because I know that probably most people look at this piece of art and they don't notice it like I
Right.
do, and that's the only reason it doesn't bother me. It bothers me a lot.
Right.
But
It's easy to be your own worst critic.
it
that's
is.
For sure.
It really is.
Yeah.
But I think that paint is a much better medium for that purpose.
Yeah.
And my big thing is, and I think your YouTube channel will really help out, is it's a little overwhelming, not just the skills. Just to get started, I have the
for
material,
sure.
but what am I going to do? Okay, I've got a million different things I could paint. Where am I going to start?
For sure. And again, the learning curve with just materials is big. So that's part of why I started that channel, is to give people little bite-sized bits of information. Like, I just want to know what this one brush does. I don't need to watch you do a whole painting. So I found I was looking for bite-sized bits of information, on YouTube, and I wasn't finding it, because I get it. As an artist, I get into my work and I just want to paint the whole painting. I started and I showed you how to use the brush, but I just want to paint the whole painting for you, and I get it. but I also, if I want to give information to you that doesn't, maybe you don't have time to watch that whole painting for an hour and a half and come together.
You just want to know that
You just
one
wanna know
technique
that one
that's in the
brush
middle,
test.
and you don't want to watch the whole hour-long
Right.
video.
So I would try to make a variety of videos, but my tips, tools, and techniques are meant to be quick, informational. Like, what's the difference between this paint and this paint? What does this brush do? What does this additive do? So that you can go and be intelligent at the store and learn and know what you want to purchase, either on Amazon or at the store. So it's I want to be respectful of people's time. But then, you know, if you do want to watch me paint a whole painting, I have videos like that too.
You know, I don't mind doing the whole painting, but you know, I noticed there are some times when they'll paint, and sometimes they'll do a time lapse, but they won't slow it down when they're painting a new part of it.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen too, which is not helpful. So how did you do that part? You skipped over it kind
Right.
of quick. You want to time lapse through all the in between.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have been doing some step-by-step videos so that you can actually paint along with me. And then you're free to pause it when you want to. But if there is a lot of repetitive of, okay, just do the same thing, I will time lapse it so somebody just wanting to watch the video doesn't get too bored of watching me do the same thing over and over again. But again, that's where you could pause it if you are actually physically painting it, and you can get yourself caught up. And then when I'm instructing a new thing, of course, it's not time lapsed. So, but yeah, I'm working on a painting courses that somebody could just purchase for specific things that they want to learn, and go through those courses and say, I want to learn about acrylic painting, or I can teach drawing, I can teach oils, I can teach watercolors, I can teach impasto style, I can teach color theory, I can teach all kinds of different aspects, and have some really fun projects that we can do that drive those points home. So that's what I'm working on right now is some actual courses that people could take. It's a little bit easier than spending hours combing through YouTube and finding what you want to learn.
I think a big problem with YouTube is it's not a problem necessarily. Their algorithms, they're showing you what they think you want to see, and a lot of times I will search for something and I can't find it, and I know it's there.
Right. It's hard.
And it's just showing me things that aren't relevant, or 2 minutes, 4 minutes, and I'm looking for something that's 30 minutes. I noticed there's a lot of short videos on YouTube that are completely valueless.
Yeah.
And those are the ones they tend to show me first, which is a little strange because I tend to watch the longer ones more so than the shorter ones.
Right.
Yeah. Well. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder how do you go about your day as an artist? What are some of the things that you do that we don't see?
Oh boy. Well, first of all, I do work full time, but I do work from home. So that's a challenge all on its own. So since my divorce, I've had to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up, because before then I was doing what I wanted to do. I was a stay-at-home mom and a wife, and I wanted to do those things, and just thought eventually once the kids grow up that I would go back to work somehow. But that changed, and that's okay. That's so balancing the home life and the work and things, that's been probably hardest on me. Creating schedules, blocking out time. So I do work part-time with my brother, doing some marketing and social media stuff for him, and then I do a lot of that from home. And then I have more ideas about videos than I can possibly shoot and edit and post and stuff. So I'm an ideator. So I am working on a system of capturing those ideas so that when I do have a few
You can
moments,
share it with me. I'm just using an
Right?
Excel file.
I'm working on it because those creative moments, once you have them, you have to capture them. Or sometimes you don't always have those creative moments. Your brain shifts into a different mode and you're not creative in that mode. And so I'm finding that when I have those creative moments, I'm usually either in the shower or driving or doing a video of my own. And I'm like, oh, I should do a video about that. Well, I have to create a system for writing that idea down so that I can go circle back around to it when I do have that time. So my time, I'm learning to block it and schedule time for being creative in the afternoons. Mornings, I do more of the things that I don't like to do that take more discipline for me to do. So that would be learning new things on the computer. That would be, I'm working with a CRM, a customer
Relationship manager.
Yeah, that's it.
I've developed a few CRMs as a software engineer. I'm pretty familiar.
So I'm working with the CRM. I'm working on a marketing plan. I don't dislike any of them, but it's just more tedious, more mentally tedious. And then I get into
they're not designed these days to be as helpful as they could be.
Right. So well, and then of course I'm doing this all on a budget. So I'm trying to manage my time and my resources and be as wise as I can be growing the business. So I do paint parties. I bring my things to somebody's home or business and do a team building activity or painting step by step. I'm at Elements in Puyallup once a month doing a paint party there, and I've done wine glasses, we've done art, just step by step paintings. It's a lot of fun. So my days, every day looks a little bit different, but I have just instituted a routine, like a morning routine, where I make sure to get my meditation and my prayer and my reading in and my exercise and my quiet time, so it fills my soul so that I have it to give to other people when I'm asked, because I do have a very busy, crazy schedule, and my to-do list is longer than I can handle. So this year my word is wonder, and part of that is I wonder how it's all gonna get done.
You're just gonna turn into Wonder Woman.
I do. I relate to this story very much. She's the goddess of love. Diana, in Greek mythology, Diana was the goddess of love, but she also has superpowers, right? And for me, as a person of faith, I feel like when I receive that love from God, I have that as a superpower to give to other people. And that's why that morning routine is very important to me, because if I don't have it and I don't receive it, if I don't think about it, have gratitude for it, I don't have it to give it. And so it's very important for me to share that love with other people. So, yeah, this story is awesome. Besides, she's just a badass.
She is. She is. And so are you. You're a badass.
And so I relate to this chick. She's got her armor and she gets the job done. She recognizes that she has a power that is otherworldly. She trains and she does her due diligence in training hard, gaining those muscles, and recognizing her purpose in life. But yeah, when it comes down to it, she has otherworldly power, and that's where I feel like I've got to plug into God's love and power.
That meditation,
right?
Helps with that.
So true. Yeah. So so many fun stories coming out of this movie, but But anyways, yeah, I relate to this very much. I do wonder, and sometimes it's looking at nature and in wonder about how awesome it is. You know, like the tulips. I wonder, you know, you can look at the center of a flower in wonder at its perfectness, at its beauty, at its very, like, how did that happen? You know?
Yeah, and you think about it, if you ponder it, let's say you meditate on this and there's a bee in there, it's pollinating, and it's perpetuating everything that we love on the planet. It's our food, it's our life, and it's all right here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It really is.
It's the same thing when I look into the skies at night on a clear night, and you just look up at the stars in wonder, and it's amazing, and you feel so small, and yet I also at the same time get reassured that God loves me. You know, like the story from this painting, that was a moment where I felt really, really known and loved, and it was cool. If I can give that message to the world, then I've done a good job.
All right. Well, I heard your message, and I see it in your art as well.
Thank you.
And I don't just mean this one. There's a lot of it sitting around.
Yes, there is. We're in my studio, so.
Yeah. All right.
Are you ready to create some art?
Yeah, let's get to work.
All right,
Cami.
let's play.
All right.
Okay, so we're in the studio getting ready to do a paint pour, and I love acrylic pouring because it, like, you remember I said how it gets you in that creative mode? This has a way of getting you in that creative mode so quickly because you already know that it's going to be abstract. You don't have to worry about it being
Messing up on it.
right. You don't have to worry about it being perfect. So, are you excited?
I am. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Let's get going.
Let's get started.
The last time we got together, I think it was end of February. No, beginning of February.
Right. It feels
Yeah,
long
like
ago, doesn't it?
8th or 9th, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, we did our chat in your studio in the Sip and Paint.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call your studio? Was it Cami Brecto
It's
Art?
Cami Renee Fine Art.
Cami Renee Fine Art. Okay,
Mhm.
thanks. And yeah, you were doing these sip and paints. Now, I'm sure that you're doing a ton of those right now, right?
No, when the whole COVID thing happened, I knew that I needed to pivot, and I wanted an online format to be able to do that. The challenge with this, and I pivoted fairly quickly. I got the professional Zoom account. I have the studio lights and stuff set up. I had the ability to do a Zoom paint and sip. The challenge with this whole coronavirus was that the supply chains of everything that I was trying to get supplies to my customers, to every supply chain that I could think of was inconsistently available or not available. Like, so I'd work for hours on a supply chain to say, okay, here's what you should buy from Amazon. And then the next day, those very same supplies were not available anymore from Amazon, or they would take 2 weeks to get to the person, or just different things. So it was a challenge. I had the video ability and the capability to teach people. So I did have the ability to do Zoom paint and sips. Not the same, of course, but we got so hungry for people that any amount of interaction was good. But I also decided that I would quit spinning my wheels on trying to create the paint and sip. So I did create a membership group, Facebook group, where I went live once a week in that group. So the members could choose to either just watch and enjoy and participate in the comments, and learn, and then buy their supplies at their leisure, or I could or they could paint along with me if they had the supplies. So I go live, was going live once a week in that membership group. And then I was also going live once a week with a free art lesson for kids and parents, because I used to homeschool my kids. And so, but I was mentally prepared for it, and our lifestyle was prepared for it. And so my heart just leapt out of my chest for all the moms and dads who were all of a sudden working from home and trying to homeschool their kids.
Imagine just yeah. I mean, I work from home. It hasn't been a huge change for us. My biggest frustration was I'm trying to start a new YouTube channel and I can't buy anything, and I gotta wait 6 weeks to get anything, and then if it's not the right thing, oh man, yeah, that's just been horrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was, so the membership group, and then just working on the Zoom paint and sip. I've done a few with my kids who live a few hours away, my daughter and her husband, but I haven't done a Zoom paint and sip for money. And that's okay. That's for me. I've done a lot of art tutorials, a lot of video, and just put that out for free to help people through this season. Yeah, it's just been an interesting season. So I have picked up more. I've been doing marketing for a nonprofit, and so that is diverting a lot of my attention away from my business. And I'm doing marketing for a nonprofit called City Fam. So that's been a lot of fun.
Okay, and what is City Fam?
City Fam is a social and a service organization. So they really, wanting to help people in areas of personal growth and to not be lonely, just to have good friendships and good people to hang out with and do things with. So the premise is that we get together for a social event locally on like a Friday night. And then 2 weeks later, we just meet people and invite people to come along with us. 2 weeks later, there's a service project that we do that is serving the local community. Now, obviously, in the last few months, that's looked a little different. We've done a ton more online events, movie nights and happy hours and all kinds of things, and then serving people virtually. But sending cards, we did a card sending event. We did creating fun and happy, inspiring, joyful videos with a certain hashtag. So it was called Sending Radical Hope. So we could just spread some positivity out in the world and encourage people. So these past few months have looked different for City Fam than usual. But the good thing out of it is that we recognize that even though people can't meet in person, that makes people even lonelier and needing people. And so we just stepped it up from 2 events a month in a local community to like 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 events a week virtually. Wow. Yeah. So there was a lot of events that people could just join in and be a part of something. So it's been fun. I've met people from all around the country, made friends with people in Canada. So yeah, all over. And City Fam is growing and really trying to help people not be lonely and become the best versions of themselves.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I have a question for you real quick.
Yes.
I'm trying to ask some fun questions to my guests for a different, unique perspective and a unique conversation.
Sure.
Now, what do you think is something that people do to make themselves look cool, but they totally don't?
Oh, something they do to make themselves look cool, but they totally don't. I think that's different for different ages and phases that you're in. Like as a 40-something person, there's things that I can't get away with wearing that my 19-year-old daughter can wear, right? We wear the same size clothes, but I can't wear everything that she wears because I would be like, people would look at me and go, kind of, like, so I think for me as a 40-something woman, if I'm dressing to try to make myself look like a teenager, then I think that's something that's not cool.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like to
I've
dress
seen
that are
that.
in
Yeah.
fashion. I mean, I like to stay near the trend. I don't have to be right on top of the trend, but I like to stay near it. But I also recognize that I stick with more classic styles and classic lines and things that I know look good on my body shape versus trying to be right on top of the trend.
That's how I am. My body is unique and I know what fits. And, I don't have a chest. I don't have hips. I have just enough hips that a size 12 sometimes is a little tight around the hips, but big everywhere else. A size 12 girls.
Oh, girl.
Girls. Yeah, I have size 12 clothes. And being 4'11" is kind of interesting. Trying to find clothes.
I can imagine. Yeah. So sticking with the classics is a great idea because then you can accessorize with something that's more like, a cool necklace or a cool whatever that's in style. But if you're in colors that look good on you and the clothes fit you well, then that's more important than staying exactly on the trend.
Yeah, I think so. The clothes I wear, I don't think these will ever be not in.
Right.
I think in general, some of the jeans that I've had, maybe because they might be flared at the ankle.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting thing, isn't it? All the high rise, mid rise, low rise, and then the skinny jeans, flared and straight leg, and all the things.
Yeah.
So many choices.
Yeah, so many choices.
And now my jeans or whatever they're called, the high rise jeans.
Yeah. Well, Cami, there's also a lot of other varieties of artists out there, and your variety is really good for people. I can testify to that. Deb has done that with you a number of times. Where can the rest of us find you and also be able to do that?
Sure. So you can always find me on my website, CamiReneeFineArt.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram with that same name, and LinkedIn as well. And so those are the best places to find me. Or there's always Gmail, CamiReneeFineArt@gmail.com. So that's how to find me.
Awesome. Thank you, Cami Brecto.
Great. I know her well, and she has these great YouTube videos that kind of teach you how to do different techniques, even just how to rinse out your brushes or how to use certain paints. And so it's just really great, like learning and then also applying those skills when it comes to these aspects. So.
Thank you.